Dear friends and faithful believers, with hearts overflowing with hope and gratitude, we extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to each of you gathered here today on this channel. May our time together bring each of you a renewed sense of peace, a comforted heart, and a deep, abiding connection to the love and grace of our Lord Jesus Christ. Through our fellowship, we find strength in unity and comfort in faith, for it is in these moments that we are reminded of His promise to be with us always, even in the stormiest of times. May the peace and boundless grace of our Lord be upon each one of you, uplifting your spirit, filling your soul with courage, and guiding you through every trial life may bring. These challenging times call us to turn our prayers and thoughts toward those enduring unimaginable hardships. Recently, our hearts have been moved with compassion for the people of Spain, where communities are grappling with the destructive power of nature. In the past weeks, catastrophic flash floods ravaged eastern Spain, leaving behind devastation, and now, as the nation struggles to rebuild, yet another wave of flooding has struck Barcelona. This new deluge has swept through the city with unrelenting force, prompting urgent travel warnings and creating a heightened sense of crisis across the region. The scenes from Barcelona echo the tragedy that unfolded in Valencia just days earlier, a city left grappling with loss and sorrow from one of the deadliest natural disasters Europe has experienced in recent memory. In Valencia, as the city mourns and begins the slow work of healing, Barcelona now faces its own battle with heavy rains and widespread flooding. Streets once filled with daily life are now submerged, rail services have halted, and Barcelona's bustling El Prat airport has been severely impacted, with terminals and parking areas underwater, leading to dozens of cancelled and diverted flights. The Catalonian government has issued a red alert, warning of the extreme danger posed by the ongoing rainfall. Residents and visitors alike are advised to stay indoors unless travel is absolutely necessary, as the city remains on high alert, bracing for further storms. Our prayers go out to the families affected, to those who have lost homes and loved ones, and to the dedicated responders working tirelessly to protect and aid those in harm's way. In these moments of hardship, we hold tight to the words of our Lord Jesus, who reminds us that even in our darkest hours, His light shines within us, offering comfort and hope. Just as He calmed the stormy sea for His disciples, so too does He calm the storms in our lives. Let us remember His teachings, drawing strength from His compassion and love. Let us lift up those who are suffering, trusting in the power of prayer and in the miraculous ways God's love moves through each act of kindness and courage. May we, as a community of faith, stand united in spirit, offering not only our prayers but our hands and hearts to those in need. In every trial, may we reflect the boundless compassion of Christ and hold fast to our shared faith, finding hope even in adversity. On Monday, the Catalonian government issued a red alert for Barcelona, warning residents and visitors of the extreme danger posed by the intense rainfall. Authorities have urged everyone to avoid travel unless absolutely necessary, as impassable roads and severely delayed rail services have paralyzed significant portions of the city. Even Barcelona's bustling El Prat airport has not been spared. Terminals and parking areas have been submerged, causing the cancellation of at least 70 flights and the diversion of 18 others. Although the downpour has somewhat lessened, the aftermath continues to disrupt operations, with delays affecting travelers and officials working tirelessly to restore normalcy. This crisis in Barcelona follows closely on the heels of the tragic events in Valencia, where flash floods last week led to confirmed casualties, with at least 27 people losing their lives in the floodwaters. Heart-wrenching footage from Valencia showed scenes of devastation, with vehicles swept away by powerful torrents, leaving behind a path of destruction that has forever altered lives and landscapes. Meanwhile, other regions of Spain, such as Malaga, have also been battered by relentless storms and flash floods, further intensifying the country's ongoing battle against these extreme weather events. In Valencia, regional leader Carlos Mazin of the Conservative People's Party has come under heavy criticism for what many see as a delayed response to the disaster. Despite receiving a severe weather warning from Spain's National Meteorological Agency, EMET, Mazin waited approximately 12 hours before issuing a public alert. By then, the relentless flood waters had already spread, causing widespread destruction and compounding the crisis. This delay has ignited a storm of criticism, with people questioning whether more lives could have been saved or damage minimized with a swifter response. Mazin's handling of the situation has not only drawn criticism but has sparked an important dialogue on preparedness and response, as the people of Spain look to their leaders for guidance, support, and accountability during these trying times. As we witness these tragic events unfold, let us keep in our hearts and prayers the people affected by these floods. May they find comfort and strength in their resilience and in the support of their communities. And may we, as a community of faith, continue to extend our compassion, aid, and prayers to those in need, reflecting the love of Christ in every act of kindness and solidarity. Alberto Núñez Feijóo, the national leader of Spain's People's Party, has openly criticized the Spanish Meteorological Agency for what he described as a poorly managed warning system and has pointed to the central government's lack of coordination with regional authorities. His words echo a growing chorus of frustration among citizens and officials alike, as many believe that improved communication and planning could have mitigated some of the flood's catastrophic impacts. In the aftermath of this disaster, calls for the resignation of Valencia's regional leader, Carlos Mazin, have intensified. Critics argue that Mazin's delayed response and his controversial decision last year to disband the Unidad Militar de Emergencias, Valencia's dedicated emergency response unit, left the region more vulnerable than it needed to be. Mazin has attempted to defend his actions by placing partial blame on the CHJ Hydrographic Agency, contending that it did not maintain an active hydrological alert that could have better prepared communities for the disaster. However, the CHJ has firmly stated that its role is limited to monitoring rainfall and water levels, with the responsibility for issuing public alerts resting with the government. This standoff has only fueled public outcry, with many questioning how such bureaucratic gaps could persist in matters so critical to public safety. In response to the widespread devastation, additional resources have been mobilized. Over 15,000 military personnel, civil guards, and police are now on the ground, doubling the level of support initially deployed in the aftermath of the floods. This substantial increase in manpower underscores the severity of the crisis and the pressing need to provide assistance to those affected. Yet, despite these reinforcements, Mazin has continued to face accusations of insufficient action, particularly concerning his hesitation to request further military aid promptly. Javier Marcos, head of Spain's military emergency unit, has clarified that formal protocol requires a direct request from regional leaders for military assistance, effectively dismissing Mazin's claim that the military should have intervened independently. As the people of Valencia grapple with the devastating aftermath of the floods, many turn inward to the strength and comfort that only faith can provide, finding solace in the loving embrace of Jesus Christ. In this dark hour, his message of compassion, mercy, and unwavering love for the suffering resonates deeply among those impacted, offering a source of inner peace that stands firm amidst the chaos and uncertainty. Jesus' teachings remind us that, even in the bleakest moments of despair, hope and resilience remain alive in the human heart. This belief has ignited a sense of unity and solidarity throughout the region, as neighbors support one another and communities come together to share in both grief and hope. In the Spirit of Christ, they seek to rebuild not only their homes but also their faith and hope for a brighter future. The flood-stricken areas have witnessed a powerful outpouring of compassion from local churches and faith-based organizations, which have rallied to support relief efforts. Volunteers have stepped forward tirelessly, distributing food, clothing, and essential supplies to families who have lost so much. Their actions reflect the selfless love of Jesus, reminding everyone affected that God's love endures, offering a glimmer of light even in the darkest storm. Church groups have opened their doors to provide shelter, clergy members offer prayers of healing and comfort, and counselors offer their time and ears to those struggling with grief and loss. In these acts of service, Valencia sees the compassion of Christ come alive in the hands and hearts of those who seek to alleviate suffering, standing as a testament to the power of faith to bind communities together in love and care. As the region works to recover from this tragedy, the disaster serves as a profound reminder of our shared human responsibility to protect and care for one another, especially in times of crisis. It is a call for leaders to act with wisdom, courage, and integrity, to make decisions that prioritize the safety and well-being of their people. This is a time that calls for unity, resilience, and a renewed commitment to the principles Jesus taught us, to care for the vulnerable, to show mercy to the suffering, and to seek justice for those in need. The words of Jesus, "Love your neighbor as yourself," echo through the actions of countless individuals who have given their time, resources, and compassion to help rebuild shattered lives. This principle of love and kindness has become a guiding light, inspiring acts of kindness and reminding all of the strength that faith and community can bring to even the most harrowing of times. In the days to come, as families begin to piece their lives back together, may this collective experience deepen the bonds of community, strengthen the foundations of faith, and inspire a renewed commitment to the well-being of one another. Just as Jesus walked alongside those who were weary and burdened, so too does His Spirit walk with the people of Valencia now, filling their hearts with courage, peace, and a hope that can weather any storm. Through shared compassion and steadfast faith, they will find the strength to rebuild, renew, and emerge from this tragedy more united and resilient than before, embodying the enduring love of Christ that transcends every hardship.